What's up, y'all? Love this song. Yeah. Been trapping like the 80s. Since I done so. What's up? What's up? Want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk, where we ain't scared. My name is A1, and today's podcast, man, I am so looking forward to this. Been waiting on this for a few weeks and wanted to find the right song to kind of set it up. It's by Roddy Ricch. It's called The Box. And the tone I want to set is black men fighting to get out the box, stay out the box. There's a lot of things boxing us in society, and we're going to deal with that. So, let me turn this down just a little bit here and get to my notes. Want to thank you to everyone again, these warriors. We ain't scared warriors. Your ears are appreciated and will never be taken for granted. And while you're sitting in quarantine, coronavirus, go ahead and subscribe, like and share. You got a lot of ears in and around you, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and pop this in, turn it up, and let's go ahead and deal with this. Turn this down a little bit. All right. Okay, great. So again, I know everybody's dealing with this whole coronavirus thing, so definitely take care of yourself, black people, as I've said, and I continue to say and stand on. I'm not really convinced that we are as potentially exposed as a lot of people want you to believe. But, of course, take care of yourself. Wash your hands, disinfect, and keep living your life. Now, let's go ahead. Thank you to everyone that's bought their We Ain't Scared Talk mug. If you haven't gotten this We Ain't Scared Talk mug, what are you waiting on? These things are strong. They are black, and they go great. Hot drinks and hot topics. All right? Please go ahead and get yourself one, okay? Grab some for your family, your friends. You guys are home together now. You can toast each other with these mugs. They are virtually indestructible. Okay, let's go and jump into today's topic. This one again, here is what we're going to be talking about. What is black male autonomy? Again, what is black male autonomy? All right. So as usual, I like to share where the topic came from and how it was sparked. Black History Month 2020 triggered a lot of fresh thoughts for me. And for those who don't know, just a reminder, this is 4 years. This year makes 4 years that We Ain't Scared Talk has been producing what I will call exquisite content for you to think about. This is for black men, about black men, by black men, by a black man, all right? And it's been 400 years since the first slave ship landed, and how much progress have black men actually made after we have assimilated into white America? Now, mind you, this is a layered conversation. I'm going to just touch on 2 of the layers, and I'm sure there's just an unlimited amount, but I can only cover so much. So expect a follow-up to this. What is black male autonomy? And I'll take it from different angles. It's very, very important. Now, we've come a long way with our education, and we have damn sure, as black men, given our literal lives for over 250 years of chattel slavery to make America the global superpower that it is. And that was because of our free labor. Now, we're still waiting on that $17 trillion check to be cut for reparations that the United States still owes ADOS, or American Descendants of Slavery. Now, let me just put a thumbtack here. A lot of you hear me talk about slavery, hear me talk about the past, and the past has everything to do with the present. No one has a problem if someone grew up in an abusive household as a child and how it turned them into the adult that they are. Maybe they're drug addict or they're abusive. No one has a problem dealing with kids who grew up in and around drugs or alcohol and how that may have turned them into a drug addicted or alcohol abusing adult. See, then the past is always embraced as to why someone turned out the way that they did. No one has a problem connecting those dots. But when it comes to slavery and the long-term cause and effect that has on the black community, then it's, well, that was so long ago. That was the past. Here we are. See, then everybody wants to try to mute the conversation. But no, not as long as I'm here. We ain't scared. We're going to talk about it. So this is how we're going to break down this particular topic. All right. 2 points, as I said earlier. The first point, we'll be dealing with black male autonomy as it relates to our insecurity, okay, and how white America views us as black men. And then the second angle that we're going to take as it relates to black male autonomy is as it relates to our insecurity about how black women or mothers or grandmothers view us. Now, autonomy. So let's deal with that. The idea of autonomy is just that. It is you thinking, making decisions for yourself outside of what anybody else thinks. It is your own thinking and decision-making, black man. So here we go. Black men have been made to feel inferior or insecure and not worthy by white America. And again, it started during slavery, and it continues through workplace discrimination, corporate America, okay, and the laws that are written to oppress and hold us in a lowered state of being. And of course, we cannot forget the school to prison pipeline that does not help. There is this concerted effort that anytime black boys are simply just being black boys and reacting and responding to things in a defensive posture because of the attacks, the invisible attacks of racism, that there's a problem. And nothing could be further from the truth. Black boys respond in a defensive way when they are under attack. Black people are the most peaceful people in the world. And it's funny how when we defend ourselves, we are perceived as the aggressor. But let me continue. White men in America, and I specifically say white men, because they are the ones that sailed thousands of miles across the Atlantic in search of free labor to do the work that they were too lazy to do. This battle in America is and has always been between white men and black men and our fight for autonomy, to live autonomously without the influence of white America and what they think. Now, white America, on the one hand, works very hard to create barriers between us via laws and things like, as an example, this is one of many, redlining. And we build our own communities, as we always have. And the irony is when we make these confined conditions, like redlining, work in our favor and otherwise thrive without being involved around or with white America, they get jealous and they get mad because they expected us to die. And we did the exact opposite. We actually do better without any outside influence. We thrive. Okay? And yes, I've said this before. This comes down, in the end, to penis envy. How else can you explain the sick and perverted desire by the Klan of cutting off black male penises after they hung black men? And as most of you know, I mentioned a book, The Delectable Negro. I think you need to look at that, read it, I should say, where there were a lot of homosexual tendencies of white male slavers and their practice of buck busting or anally raping black male slaves. And it has become painfully obvious, at least to me, that white males are sexually attracted to black men. Now, for more on that, I did do a podcast last year. You can check it out once you go to the website, and you can hear more. So, back on course. Black men have been brainwashed into being more concerned about what white men or white America thinks, or getting the white man's approval before, during, and after we do something. All right? And it paralyzes most black men from trusting our own instincts and our own thought process. And I think that's the part that has been passed down. We second guess ourselves. We question ourselves. There are certain voices. It's okay. If I do this, what are they going to think? You know, I have to take the bass out of my voice. I can't talk to them the way that I really want to, because they're going to label me the angry black man, as most of you have labeled me. He's so angry. He's so mad. He's always talking about race and racism and oppression and the problem that black people face and black men face. I'm so tired. I'm tired of it too. Can we keep it real? I'm tired of it too. I wish I didn't have to talk about it. But as long as America keeps putting off reparations, keeps denying that there's a problem, I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm not going away. I'm not letting this go, because it has to be dealt with. And it will be dealt with. So to continue that mentality, if Massa don't approve it, it must be wrong or won't work. This has to stop. Black men listening, this has to stop. Black people in general, again, are more concerned about white approval than black empowerment. It was the black minds and the bodies that built the pyramids in Egypt. It was black minds, black male minds, that taught the Greek, that gave the world its philosophy, its math, its liberal arts, and all the sciences. Those were black minds, and white men know this. Okay, this is why they went through such painstaking steps to blow off the black noses on most of the Egyptian statues that exist, so they didn't have to show that these were black men that they were stealing and learning from. One thing white men hate is learning from black men. They hate it, absolutely hate it. And personally, I really don't give a fuck what a white man thinks about what I say or do, or anybody for that matter. That's right, this is the podcast where the gloves come off, because I'm tired of tiptoeing around this. I'm not going to tiptoe. I mean, I don't think I ever have. But in this particular podcast, the gloves are completely off. Black men have got to detox. We've got to deprogram and go the complete opposite direction for the next 400 years. How about that? To completely rid ourselves of this second nature. Oh, well, what will these white people think if I do this or say this? Look. Again, none of that matters. Black men, you are the masters of the universe. You always have been, and you always will be. You have to tell yourself this, okay? You have to. You got to reprogram your thoughts and do it every day. If you got to do it every second of every minute of every hour of every day, then do it. And when you get that feeling of what will blank think, you have to push that away. You have to push it back and you have to go your own way. It's imperative. Or how are you going to know what you really want and what you really want to do? It's an empowering feeling to break down all the walls of a box that society has tried to build around us. And you find your own voice. You have to find that voice. Okay, you have to live in it before you disappear completely. You have to. All right? Now, let's deal with number 2 on the list of black male autonomy as it relates to what mama or grandmama thinks. And I touched on this in the last podcast of, do black mothers inadvertently stunt the emotional growth of black men? If you haven't heard that, go back, listen to it. So I did touch on that, and it bears repeating that black boys are usually not encouraged to do anything unless they run it by their mothers first. Now, I get it. This was a survival mechanism, again, held over from slavery, where the black mother didn't want their black boys killed or hurt by massa for doing something that massa didn't like. This is a fact, okay? And there is still a deep emotional connection that black boys have with our mothers and black men, okay? That is unlike anything on earth, because black boys and black mothers have lived through 400 years of hell, of slavery, of oppression, and no other mother-child dynamic exists that can even compare. So again, I get it, but it still handicaps black men when they feel they can't do anything unless mama approves. It's problematic. Again, this is a form of slavery in itself. So we moved from the physical chains to the mental and emotional chains. The inability to think autonomously or live autonomously without fear of what somebody is going to think is a problem. Black men have a completely different responsibility than any other race of men. We are the supreme warriors, the supreme protectors, and our strength is what moves the world forward on all levels. It's our physical strength and abilities that drive sports and entertainment, and I dare say fashion and many other aspects of society. I think about the fact that even with the lack of full autonomy, how successful we have become. I mean, even though we're still operating in this second-guessing sort of mentality of autonomy, we still are doing well. Can you imagine if all black men all over the world committed to becoming 100% autonomous with no care about what anybody thinks, no matter who they are? I think about Mansa Musa, the richest black man to ever live, or richest man to ever live, for that matter. His net worth or estimated wealth was $400 billion. $400 billion. And I believe we could have thousands of Mansa Musas if our decisions were more based on what we want versus what we think other people want for us. And that's important. What do you want, black man, for yourself versus what you think other people want for you? You've got to break this mentality. It won't be easy, I can guarantee you. And that's for a lot of black men, okay? Because this is a second nature mentality. And you might not have even realized that this has been happening, but it is. And I live in the South, okay, where a lot of the torture and abuse and murder of black men by hateful white men has created a fear factor. And I see it every day. It's palpable. My mission and focus in this world is to talk about those things that most people are too scared to talk about, or that they may not even know exists. It has to be repeated over and over again and constantly faced in order to deal with it. And to be honest, I am certain that some black men may not have even thought that they are contributing to their own lack of progress by having this mentality. You know, what will blank think, or what will they think? Okay, we've got to face that. We've got to fight against that. Okay, now if that's not you, let me be clear. If that ain't you, great. Keep going. Okay, if it is you, great. You now have an opportunity to fight back and free yourself from that mental bondage. Give yourself the freedom to go against that sort of mentality that boxes you in. The sky is not the limit, and your success rests squarely on your ability to destroy everything that was meant to destroy you from the inside out. Get out of the box and stay out of the box. When that happens, trust me, nothing will be impossible. Nothing at all will be able to stop you. And black men, just a sidebar, I'm proud of you. Okay, I'm proud that you have fought, that you have stood, that you continue to stand in the face of just horrible violence and hate. But we are going to make it. That I promise you. I promise you. Live autonomously, black men. Make decisions that make you happy. Make decisions that you are going to take chances and you are going to take risks to make you the kind of man that you want to be. All right? Now, I'm certain you have your own thoughts. All right? That's great. Let's keep this conversation going. Now, I want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk. My name is A1, and you got some good food for thought. Listen again. Tell a friend. We ain't scared. Never. Get out the box. Stay out the box. Black male autonomousness. 100%. In a box. Pour out the hole. I'ma get laid. All right. Again, thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk. And enjoy your day.